Hey, welcome back. I usually say welcome to a Woman Wednesday edition, but when you have two 7-foot giants on the set who are men, you don't even want to mention that. But earlier, towards the end of hour one, we had on Zen Sams. She's a correspondent for us. She brings us great ideas, and she told Frank and I about the Friedman brothers, who unfortunately lost their dad on 9/11. And you know, Frank and I have been big advocates for the 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund. We have the little World Trade Center on the desk every single day when we get into having a drink once in a while. We have the NYPD and the FDNY. So I want to introduce Mike and Dan Friedman. Guys, God bless you. Thanks for coming down here. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And you guys, after being stricken with a terrible event in your life, which sends kids to drugs and suicide and a lot of terrible things, you guys, with your mom being the guiding force, you decided to pay it forward, and you went down there and you were helping first responders, hoping for the best, but one of the things you were doing was handing out socks when people were working days and days and days to give them a little comfort, and that was like meant something to you. And now, I guess when you're 7 feet tall, it's hard to find regular socks, too.
Well,
right?
yeah, so we, after 9/11, after losing our dad and not knowing what to do, you know, our dad always taught us about giving back and helping others and paying it forward. And so we took to the streets of New York to hand out socks to the first responders, to give them some supplies, give them clean and dry socks. That's what they requested. And we didn't know it at the time, but that was going to serve as the foundation for the business we were going to start 15 years later. So we started Tall Order Socks, and we're happy to give back as part of our initiatives.
So, Mike, tell us what you're holding up there. They look pretty nice, those socks.
So this is our Feel Good sock. This is a limited edition that you can find on our website, tallorder.com, and they are $20 a pair in two sizes, shoe size 9 to 11 and 12 to 15. And half the proceeds are going to the Feel Good Foundation, ran by our good friend John Feel, and with a huge advocate from Jon Stewart. And we want to thank the first responders and the rescue workers who have sacrificed their lives to help not only bring closure to the families who unfortunately lost someone in 9/11, including us, but to show our gratitude for all their hard work and dedication. And with this sock, you not only look good, you not only feel good, but you are doing good. And that's the message we tried to send to others with this sock. And we are hopeful to be able to sell up and raise over $48,000 by Christmas. So guys, if you have a second, please go to our website, tallorder.com, and get these fun, fashionable, cool looking Feel Good socks and help the 9/11 first responders and rescue workers.
So I want to thank you guys for coming down, letting us in on what's going on with Jon Stewart and Feel Good. Many people who come on who are like wrote a book or something, they usually bring us some swag, like some socks or something. So me and Frankie,
we got some Feel Good socks for you.
We'll make a donation, but I mean, I don't like to endorse products unless I've tried them. But I hope these aren't the 12 to 15s.
Those happen to be the 12 to 15,
You know
but
what
we'll
they
make sure
say.
we'll get you the 9 to 15.
Small
9 to
feet,
11s.
Don't worry.
Small socks. You know? Now, you guys, you're not just slumming here on Newsmax. You guys are on the big time too. You were recently on the Today Show, where they talked about it. And I want you guys to take a look at this of the Friedman brothers on the Today Show.
So I am wearing our plaids.
For me, I am wearing one of my favorite patterns, a blue graffiti.
We didn't realize that socks were going to become so important in our own family.
To Lisa Friedman Clark and her twin sons, Mike and Dan, socks are more than just their family business.
Socks have always represented hope for our family.
They founded their sock company, Tall Order, in honor of their father, Andy. On September 11th, Andy called Lisa from his office on the 92nd floor of the North Tower in the World Trade Center.
I hear a lot of coughing in the back, and all he said to me is, "Lisa, I'm okay. We're in a room and we have plenty of air." And I was obviously in shock because I didn't say anything. I just said, "I love you." That was all I said.
It wasn't until we got home that night and we saw that there were lines of cars waiting to get in our driveway. And that's when I realized something isn't right.
I knew that was my last phone call in my heart of hearts.
Well, guys, it's a terrible, gripping story. Let me shut off the remote. I'm over watching it. But, no, it's a terrible story. But you know, out of every cloud, there's a silver lining, and you guys were inspired by that moment. I know I lost my father when he was 51 years old. You know, right out of the blue. And I felt like that was like a precipice moment in my life. That okay, now I got to be a man. Now I got to find a purpose and make him proud. And I think you guys are doing that tremendously.
And in the spirit of Women Wednesday, you know, we owe a lot of gratitude to our mom. She was really the driving force behind everything, basically raising us by herself, helping us start this business. Doing everything with a positive attitude and doing everything, you know, always looking to the positives and being so optimistic and getting us through some of the toughest times in our life. You know, we really can't thank our mom enough for that.
And it would have been easy for us to just say, you know what, that's it. Our life is not going to be any better. We lost one of the most important people we've ever been around. But instead, we went the opposite direction and just said, you know what? We're gonna enjoy our life. We're gonna push forward. We're gonna do everything we can to make every day mean something, and we do it not only through the socks, not only through our story, you know, trying to give back to those who have helped us, but also in what we see from our mom every day and how she keeps pushing, keeps trying to do the very best that she can every day. We're just very thankful and blessed to be doing what we do.
Well, you know what they say: behind every great man is a great woman. And when your father wasn't here to carry half the load, your mother took double the load.
Absolutely.
And you guys combined are quite the load, might I add. So you twins? You're not twins?
Yes.
You're twins.
Yeah.
Who's older?
I am by minute.
So you're older and you're taller.
Yes, but the joke.
I know the feeling. I got a young
But
brother.
the joke in the family is, had I had some hair on me, I'd be 7 feet. So I'm a little jealous of that because he has the hair.
So just on the, you know, we kind of try to find the lighter side of things sometimes, talking about serious stuff, and this is about as serious as it gets. But Jon Stewart is quite the comic,
Yes.
might I add, and humorist. Not that I always agree with his humor, but I respect his talents. They're tremendous. How is he helping the cause with Feel Good and the Feel Good Foundation? And, you know, for those of you who don't know, the Tuesday's Children Foundation is the kids of parents who perished on 9/11, which was a Tuesday. What's Jon Stewart effect on this stuff?
Yeah, so Jon Stewart has been a big advocate for not only the Feel Good Foundation, but for all the 9/11 first responders and rescue workers. He was a big part in extending the Victims' Compensation Fund. He has been such a great advocate, and he's been a good supporter of Tall Order as well in our initiative with the Feel Good Foundation. So we were fortunate enough to get to meet him a couple weeks ago, and he is as stand-up a guy as you can imagine. He is funny. He immediately started cracking jokes, and he's so happy to be representing the Feel Good Foundation and Tall Order for all we're doing for them as well.
So the logo on your socks is basically kind of has a Twin Towers in there.
Yes. So the logo, as you can see right here,
Can we go in on that, Nico? Can we
it's
go
sky
in on
blue.
on the logo?
it's sky blue that represents the clear blue sky that was
Put that up. There you
on
go.
9/11. And it also, we pay a subtle nod to the World Trade Center with the T. And then the O connects the words Tall Order, and as you can see, we are rising above tragedy. So when you put on a pair of Tall Order socks and you cross your legs, the logo is supposed to be a reminder to pay your own Tall Order, whether it's buy someone a cup of coffee, paying someone's toll. Just doing the right thing and looking out for others is what we grew up on and what we try to do each and every day, and we try to inspire people to do the same thing.
These days, you know, we talk about politics a lot on here, and this transcends politics. But these days, it's so divisive out there. If you like Trump, if you don't like Trump, it seems like these days it's a tall order to just be nice to someone who doesn't share the same political views as you. And you guys don't give a crap about any of that.
No, it's
right?
not.
You want to spread the word, rise above, pay it forward, do something for someone else, give people hope. That's what you guys are really after. And I know it costs a lot to make these things, it costs a lot to market these things, but a big hunk of what you're making is going back and giving back to the community and those who are less fortunate than you guys.
That's the tall order we're trying to fulfill. And we also want to make sure that people never forget about what happened on 9/11, but then also look to the future and give back to those who really need it. Because we were fortunate enough to come out the other side. And we know not everyone is so fortunate. People go through traumatic loss all the time, and it's so prevalent in the news today that we feel it's our obligation to give back to those people who are less fortunate than us.
I go nuts when I see people like Ilhan Omar, this freshman congresswoman who's a Muslim, and she was part of the first diverse group in the squad and all this crap, and she goes on and says some people did some things. Some Muslim extremists flew planes into the building and murdered your father. That wasn't some people doing some things, right? I mean, that's what the main macro story is. You don't want people to forget about what happened.
No.
And what happened was some Muslim extremist murderers killed thousands of Americans.
What we don't want people to forget are the innocent people, the fathers, the wives, the husbands, the daughters, the sons, the people behind these stories. Right. Those are the people we don't want to forget about what happened that day. Those are the people we never want to forget whose innocent lives were taken that day. But that's part of our mission, is not only to remind people that so many people lost their lives and so many people are doing great things to help others.
Yep.
That's part of our mission with Tall Order.
All right, Mike and Dan Friedman, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Feel Good Foundation, Jon Stewart, keep doing what we're doing. We need people to feel good in these terrible times. And before I go, the Tall Order socks, do you have any with lifts in them? That I can get a little taller?
No, but we do.
By wearing the socks?
Unfortunately, no.
We do make them in regular sizes, though. We're not just for tall, we're for all.
All right, very good. Not for tall. For all. I like that. I'm stealing that too. But check out Tall Order. Go down there, buy some socks, and the net proceeds of that, a big hunk of it are going to the Feel Good Foundation and Tuesday's Children, and all the things young people like this should be worried about. And you stay right there, because we're going to come back after this. My favorite part of the show, when we mix it up, a Democrat or Republican, I throw out the topics, I mix up a drink, they slug it out. And all voices are heard right here. Stay right there for Liquid Lunch.